She screamed it at me across the living room. I sacrificed my career for this family. Her voice broke halfway through the sentence, shattering against the walls. I didn't respond. I just watched her, watched the tremor in her hands, the wildness in her eyes. She wanted me to argue, to feed the drama. Instead, I walked to the kitchen table and set down a folder. Her name was on the printouts, bold, black, corporate. She didn't notice at first. She kept talking, voice cracking under its own weight. When she finally saw the emails, her breath caught. The air went still. For a moment, she looked at me like she didn't recognize who I was. And maybe she didn't, because the man standing there wasn't the one who used to protect her. He was the one who'd stopped pretending to. It started months earlier. Her stories began to change. She said her company didn't value family, that she chose us over a promotion, that she walked away with dignity. Her parents believed every word. They looked at me like I was lucky to have someone so selfless. Even I wanted to believe it, for a while, but then came the little things. The severance pay that didn't match voluntary resignation. The company laptop she refused to return. The way her voice tightened when I asked if she still spoke to her old boss. And one night, when she fell asleep drunk on cheap wine and victimhood, I opened her laptop. The emails were there. Warnings, missed deadlines, a final termination notice. She hadn't quit. She'd been fired. And then she rewrote the story so she could keep her halo. I closed the laptop quietly and stared at the ceiling. Somewhere between pity and rage, a strange calm settled in. I didn't need to confront her yet, not until the stage was perfect. Her family invited us for dinner, a performance really. Her mother cooked, her father poured wine, and she told stories of her sacrifice, how she'd turned down a career to focus on marriage, how hard it was to start over. They all nodded with sympathy. I smiled. Every word she spoke pulled the rope tighter around her own neck. I let her. Because this wasn't just about catching her lie. It was about watching what she became when she thought she was safe. She made herself the martyr, and me, the beneficiary of her suffering. I watched her hands as she gestured, the diamond on her finger catching the light like a warning. She didn't notice the folder in my briefcase, or the silence I was building. Each lie she told was another brick in the wall I was going to let collapse on her. Halfway through dessert, she started again. How she gave everything for us, how I didn't appreciate it. I looked at her parents, then back at her. Her mother dabbed her eyes with a napkin. Her father muttered something about strong women. And that's when I set the folder down. "What's that?" she asked. "Proof," I said. She frowned, reaching for it. The room went silent as she scanned the first page. Her father leaned in. "What's going on?" No one spoke. Page after page, missed performance reviews, HR warnings, her final termination email. Her hands started to shake. This isn't—" I cut her off. "You didn't leave your job, Anna. You lost it. And you lied to everyone sitting here." Her father's face turned pale. Her mother stopped breathing for a second. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The truth did the work for me. She tried to speak, tried to explain, but there's no language for being caught in the act of pretending to be the victim. Her father stood up. "Is this true?" She stared at the table, silent. I watched the collapse happen in real time. The moment the image she built of herself crumbled, revealing something small and desperate beneath. I didn't look angry. I looked free. Her mother whispered my name, but I didn't answer. This wasn't about cruelty. It was about clarity. She wanted a stage. I gave her one, and she destroyed herself on it. When we got home, she begged. Not for forgiveness, just for silence. She said I didn't have to humiliate her like that I'd gone too far. But humiliation isn't an action, it's a mirror. I just held it up. I packed a bag that night. No shouting, no threats. Just the quiet end of something long dead. As I walked out, she asked, "Was it worth it?" I paused at the door. Truth always is. Now, months later, I sometimes think about that night, the look in her eyes when the story ended. Not with drama, not with anger, just silence. That's what betrayal sounds like when it runs out of excuses.